Hello, viewers. I'm in conversation with Krishnan, CEO India with Samsonite, on the questions that CXOs often have on overcoming their growth challenges. So, Jay, here goes. The next question, which kind of keeps coming up during coaching, is people like accolades or praise, and people have a negative orientation towards criticism of any kind. So I'm sure this produces, especially at senior levels like a CXO, it will have certain dysfunctional impact on his relationships. So have you come across this among others, or have you actually dealt with it at some time yourself? And if so, how have you dealt with it during your journey?
The risk of an inflated ego is very high as you rise up. Now, the people, successful people that I admire are people who admit that there has been a lot of good fortune that has also played a role. Yeah. So every time that you hear praise, if you could tell, if that inner voice in yourself can tell yourself that, hey, while all these are true that people are talking about, yes, I am very, very good and I've taken many, many good decisions. I keep reminding myself that I've been fortunate. Everybody understands that corporate is a pyramid. Yeah, there are fewer jobs as you go higher and higher, and you as long as you remember that you are sitting in a chair which was coveted and deserved by many more people, that humility will stay. Now, why I'm talking about that in connection to your question is that I think humility is something that is needed at both stages, when there is praise and when there is criticism. And as long as humility can stay, you will react well to both. So people talk about handling criticism as a challenge. Handling praise is a challenge. Now, if in most cases, the praise that you get is deserved. So even handling that requires certain amount of training of yourself. Saying that, yes, I am good, but there are certain things that I have not been able to achieve. And when you get criticism, you say, yes, I have made mistakes, but then there have been many, many things that I've got right. Whenever there is a lot of praise, I remind myself of those things, of two things. One is that, yes, there has been Lady Luck who's played a role. I also tell myself that, yes, there are a lot of things that I'm not good at, or there are a lot of things that I've failed at, to keep myself grounded. And if somebody, and there have been cases, obviously, in everyone's life, when people put you into the ground, people hit you into the ground. At that time, you need to remind yourself that, hey, I am good at so many things and there's so much I've achieved. That helps you stay above the ground. So this is a balance. These are the two things that I think we need to keep in mind. Does that answer your question, Ramesh?
Absolutely, it does. So humility on the one hand, when somebody praises you, that Lady Luck has played a hand, and I'm here against, or rather, I rose, and the others who were in contention were also almost equally worthy. So that humility. And second is the resilience, that when somebody hits you to the ground, you kind of hold yourself, and you know who you are, you know what you're capable of, you know what all you've done. So not letting that go away just because somebody is critical of a particular incident or a particular behavior for a brief period of time. So great, Jay, you did answer my question very well. So let me move on. Some CXOs come into coaching sessions saying that there is this particular organizational value, or there is some particular behavior which I'm seeing in my setup, in my company, which I'm uncomfortable. And sometimes aspects of the culture. So if there is a misalignment like this, how should one deal with it? What orientation should one have?
Yeah, so if there is a mismatch of values, Ramesh, I think it calls for serious conversation. Yeah, very, very serious, immediate conversation. What I'm saying is, you can't put it out for later. You can't say that I'll work on it later. If there's a mismatch, you believe there's a mismatch, it needs to be brought on the table very, very quickly with the CEO, with other CXOs. Saying that, guys, I don't agree with this. Yeah. So coming to behavior, you also mentioned culture. Now, behavior can be different. People handle situations differently. I think as every CEO will have to understand that there are various types of behavior in handling the same matter, the same issue, the same problem. And there can be various types of behavior that can be effective. So recognizing that there could be different ways of behavior to achieve the same objective is, I think, a crucial skill that a CEO or a CXO needs to have. Where it comes to in terms of what can I do towards changing a culture, I think that's a lot of times you need to ask yourself. One is that you need to ask yourself that what exactly is irritating you about this culture, right? Is it because are you irritated because it doesn't gel with your strengths, your way of looking at life, your way of doing things, etc.? Is it because of that? Is it because it doesn't match with your style? Is it why you're irritated? If it is so, I think it is best to try and adapt yourself, because the company culture is built over years, and it is generally, as I said, built by the CEOs. Now, coming to if you really want to change it, yes, of course, you can play a role in changing culture. It is the CXO is an important person, and he plays a big role in setting a culture and in continuing a culture. So, if you feel that there is a certain changes that need to be done, those conversations have to be had with the CEO, and conversations need to be had with the other CXOs. Those are my views on this, Ramesh.
Okay, so Jay, you're really saying that the different ways of treating values, behavior, and culture. Values is a mismatch at a CXO level is a serious issue. Probably needs to be brought to the table without assuming that that's the way it's going to be. An exploration. Behavior, I hear you say that there is no one route to achieving a particular goal. It could be each of us bring our own unique ways of doing things. So, and nothing wrong about it. But getting into a dialogue to understand the other person's perspectives is what you're recommending. And culture, something very interesting you said is that CXO is a very important person, and he has a role to shape and change the culture. One, because he's handling a largest team, a functional team, and second, because when people look at is he promotable to a CEO, these are the kind of things. Does he take charge of something which he doesn't agree with? Does he contribute in a positive way? Is something which you're saying. That's extremely insightful observations, Jay. So let's move on to the last question that I have from my personal point of view. And the question is, what's your exposure, Jay, to coaching? Have you ever had a coach at some point? Has it helped you? And do you engage coaches at Samsonite? And what benefits have you got?
The two parts of your question, Ramesh. One, have I had a coach, a personal coach? No, not had that luxury yet. But do I think it's important? I think it's extremely important. Yeah. And it's before, I know you were specifically asking about CXOs, but the CEO definitely needs a coach, I think, because they say it's a very lonely job. While every CEO is a great team member, etc., there are certain things that you can't speak with your colleagues about, your own fears, your own anxieties, etc. And it's always very, very good to have somebody listening to you. And I believe coaching is, I'm sure, you know better about coaching. I will not tell you about coaching, so I'll only guess that coaching involves a lot of listening, and it's great to have somebody listen to you and to give you certain insights based on what you are telling them. So I think, yes, it is extremely important. At Samsonite, have we engaged coaches? Yes, we have. I wouldn't claim that we've done it personally for people, but we have engaged people who are great coaches to work with our teams in different projects, etc. So not specifically from a personal coaching perspective. No, we have not done that yet. Do I believe it's important? Yes, I believe it's important.
Great. So my invitation, Jay, to you is to remove all the guesswork and get yourself a coach, because you're in a very lonely job. Sure.
Sure. I'll do that. I'll take your advice. Thank you very much.
Right. Okay, Jay, that concludes my dialogue with Jay Krishnan, CEO India for Samsonite, on navigating the challenges that CXOs face. Hope you all enjoyed it. Do write in or connect with me. Thank you.